Just let it
Well,
go.
yeah, you just had a great idea, which I never thought of. I never thought of it at all. But it's something actually, a concept I actually went out to the magazine where we were just having some great discussion about Dennis Leary, and him saying about like, oh wow, well about smoking, and yeah, the years it takes off my life are the worst ones anyway. You know?
You could just film like whatever we talk about. It's fine.
Yeah. Because in all honesty, like with me, there's no actual behind the scenes with me at all. You know, but it's, we actually had a couple great discussions, not on the music topic. Like we were talking about Dennis Leary and how you mentioned about, we were talking about, he's actually a really good serious actor.
He is. I saw him. I binge watched the entire series of Rescue Me on Netflix like twice.
Oh, Shay.
That's like 9 seasons. But actually, I did it the first time because my tonsils were out. I was taken on the first in 2 weeks. I watched the whole season. He was barely in the last Spider-Man though, because he dies in the first one. Spoilers.
I think everybody's seen the first one.
Not everybody.
Oh, okay.
Because I forget who it was. I was gonna go see Spider-Man 2 with them. They're like, I don't want to go see it. I haven't seen the first one. Like that movie's been out 2 years.
Yeah. I've seen it so many times I have the entire movie memorized. It's like,
I want to see the second one so bad. I didn't see the first one. You can't want to see it that bad.
yeah. Now, of course, they have the Amazing Spider-Man 2 out, which, from what I've seen of the commercials, I'm kind of wondering if that's not going to kill the series or not, though.
I love that movie. There's so many people who are like, I don't like this movie. You're the only one that liked it. I liked it better than the third one with Tobey Maguire.
Oh yeah.
It was, yeah. They ruined Venom in that movie.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that.
They ruined Venom.
Okay, by the end of the movie, I was actually rooting for Venom, honestly. I was like, yeah, kick his ass, kick his ass.
He wasn't the right, like, you got, Venom is supposed to be like this intimidating symbiote creature. Like, Eddie Brock is supposed to be like an asshole. And you get Eric Foreman from that 70s show to play Venom.
Yeah.
Why don't you just get Ashton Kutcher while you're at it?
Now, believe it or not, it's out, finally out on DVD and Netflix, and I'm actually going to wait till it's shown over to Steel Stacks to see it. There's one movie I'm dying to see, and you are going to laugh your ass off, and so is everybody else. The Lego Movie.
I love that movie, dude. I'm not gonna laugh my ass.
Because I still love messing around with Legos.
That movie is great.
They're
Have
actually
you never seen it?
No, they're actually going to be showing it. I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday night. They have their free movies over at Steel Stacks.
Yeah.
They're going to be showing it. I think later in July or early August. That's one of the free movies.
That movie's great. I'm not gonna laugh at anybody for seeing that movie. That's one of my favorite movies that came out this year.
Yeah, it's just from what I was told, from what I saw, from what I was told, it's for the kids, but they hide the adult humor in it also.
Oh, it's still funny. Yeah.
So it's like I still love messing around with Legos. So it's like,
The funny thing is, I saw it in the theater, like everything in that movie is made of Legos. They go like into an ocean setting. The entire ocean is made, the waves are made of Legos. And me and Ryan are just sitting there, like looking at the screen like, oh my god, this is tripping me out so bad right now. What is this movie about? I don't know. Like when we walked in, it's like, Ryan, do we know what this movie's about? Other than the fact that it's made of Legos entirely? No.
I don't think.
Any idea what this movie is about?
Honestly, I don't think they released too much information about the movie in itself. They basically built the whole the whole hype on the Lego part, and very few people know about the plot, if there's an actual plot to it.
There is a plot to it. It's just that if you ask me right now, Patrick, what is the plot to the Lego movie? I'd be like,
Let me watch it 3 or 4 times, and I'll let you know.
I challenge anybody watching this interview to just be like, okay, I'm asking you, tell me what the Lego movie's about, and try to not confuse me. Pretend that I've never seen it before. Try to not confuse me.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I know about is about this kind of like the underdog. It comes out on top at the end. That's about all I know about the plot line.
That's like.
I even looked at the DVD. I saw the DVD in the store, and I looked at the DVD, and I'm like, there's literally maybe 3 sentences about the plot line on the.
The plot is like, it's. I mean, it's such, like, the thing I was talking about earlier, where it's just anything stupid will get famous. This is stupid. but it's really good stupid. It's really hilarious. I love the Lego Movie.
Okay. Now, I mean, that's pretty much one of the only main movies so far this year that I've seen that I'm dying to see, because it's like movies have almost become copies of each other anymore. Or, you know, let's keep doing the Marvel DC thing. Let's copy another movie, or let's, you know, like even with the TV series now, like I call part of the new Teen Wolf now.
I haven't watched Teen Wolf, but I the movie thing, I can definitely see where you're coming from on that. Like, they're coming out. I saw this article that they're coming out with 7 DC movies in 2 years because they just want to catch up to the Avengers. Like, how about you just make me wait 5 more years and make good movies?
Yeah.
I didn't like Man of Steel at all. I don't know if you saw.
I haven't seen that
I
one.
didn't like Man of Steel. And sorry for anyone who likes Man of Steel. I don't like Man of Steel.
Now I like Thor.
Thor was good, but that's Marvel. I'm talking DC.
Oh, okay.
Where they came out with Superman. I didn't like Man of Steel because there wasn't any character development. I think Superman destroyed Metropolis rather than help to them. Like, at the end of that movie, he destroys Metropolis fighting Zod. And it's like, why did we want you around?
Yeah. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, the movie actually got trashed by the critics too.
At first it was like, oh, this movie's great, and then as the week went on, it's like, yeah, this movie's not good.
Yeah.
It's not a good movie because at the end of the movie, like, there were some of my friends who were like, oh, I love Man of Steel. I'm like, all right, really? Why don't you tell me from the movie what you know about Lois Lane? And they're like, actually, I don't know. I don't know who, like, other than her name is Lois Lane. I'm like, or Morpheus from The Matrix, he's in that movie. It's like, or his character, do you know anything about him?
Yeah.
No. Or anyone who isn't Superman or Russell Crowe. Do you know anything about them? Or Zod? Like, that movie, I just didn't like it. I figured if you were going to make a Superman movie.
Or let's rephrase it, remake the Superman movie.
Like, I get what they're trying to do, because they tried that with Superman Returns, and that ended up being bad.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to make a Superman with today's technology. And they're trying to make Superman look as cool as humanly possible, but the story sucks.
Yeah, they're basically focusing on the character and the special effects versus the story, versus the plot line.
They did it right with Batman. I loved it. Like, everybody hated the Dark Knight. Like, there's a lot of people who were saying, I didn't like the Dark Knight.
I loved it.
Batman's not even in it that much. I'm like, yeah, the story was awesome.
Yeah, because it showed the other side. It showed.
I loved it.
Yeah, and it showed the other side of Batman, where it's like, okay, where at times he gets fed up trying to save everybody. You know what I mean? It showed the more humanistic side versus the superhero side of him.
It showed more of like it showed like what would actually happen to a guy if he was Batman for this long. Like, he would get injured.
Yeah.
He would have to hang it up. There would be a problem. There would be people would figure out who he is. I mean, the thing that I never understood with like superheroes is like, clearly that's Clark Kent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder who Batman is. Who's the richest guy in town?
Who in one of the movies basically blew up his own house. You know, it's.
The funny thing is, in the Dark Knight, the second one, most people, I don't know, like his Batman voice in that movie, where it's like too overly Batman.
Yeah.
Like, where are the other drugs going? I'm like, okay, he was talking to Morgan Freeman's character in that movie, and he was still talking like that. I'm like, dude, he makes your gear. He knows who you are. You don't need to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at least in like Iron Man and the one Spider-Man movie, at least they, you know, you knew everybody unmasked. You know, okay, hey, this is who I am, because guess what? You probably already figured it out by now. You know. Yeah, you know, and I like that at the end of it, the original Iron Man. Yeah, I am Iron Man. You know, it's like I have billions of dollars. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, the whole world and all the supervillains are going to figure it out sooner or later. You know, it's like.
I don't know, like, I love Iron Man, but I don't know like any of the villains from Iron Man. Like, my main thing is I know all the villains from Batman. I was a Batman and a Spider-Man kid.
Yep.
The X-Men. I'm not that big of a fan of X-Men, but mainly Batman.
I think the reason why I never got into the X-Men is because there were just too many of them.
Well, I also don't understand. It's like, okay, well, if they're in the same universe, why are they mutants and the other one's just superheroes?
Yeah.
Like, if that's the case, is Spider-Man a mutant?
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I heard they did this a couple times where it's like they went Marvel versus DC, and clashed everybody together. But it's like, okay, it's great to do that once, but after you do that more, you try to pull that off a second time. It's like, you know what?
Well, the thing I noticed about DC is I had this game for Xbox, Injustice, where it's basically a fighting game between all the DC superheroes, and I started to realize, I'm like, okay, Superman's powers are he can run really fast, he's really strong, and he can fly. Flash, he's really fast, he's really strong.
Yeah.
Like Wonder Woman, she can fly. Well, actually, I don't know if she can fly. Can she?
In the invisible jet, you can't normally though.
Okay,
Well, it depends. Some of them they had her flying.
She's really strong.
Yeah, it's almost like redundant.
It's like, okay, what's Green Lantern's power? Fly. He has a ring to do this though, but it's like he can fly. He can make anything he wants, so pretty much really strong. What can Aquaman do? Okay, well he's different, but everyone else.
Yeah. Well, Aquaman, he can't fly, but he can swim. He's really strong.
They're all really strong. Like, okay,
Get him out of water. He's bait for an extended period of time. He's like going to.
The only one that I love is Green Arrow because he has like a bow, and he's basically the DC version of Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's like everyone's like really strong, really fast. Like, what's the difference between? It's like I love the Flash, but I never saw a point like to differentiate between him and Superman because Superman can go really fast and so can the Flash.
Yeah. Well, I can remember when I was growing up, and this was before your time easily. They actually had a TV show called The Flash.
They're coming out with a new one too.
Okay, they turned it into one, and it was really cool. You know what I mean? But yeah, now I think about it, I agree with you. It's like, okay, all you're doing is coming out with different drawings and different characters, but you're basically giving them the same exact. Well, did you see Stan Lee's show, Who Wants to Be a Superhero?
No, I didn't.
That on Sci-Fi Channel it ran for 2 seasons a few years ago. It was actually really cool where like people would audition to be a superhero in one of his comics, and they would have whoever won would actually have their own limited edition comic.
I heard about that, I think. I heard about something like that.
Yeah, where people had to create their own superheroes with their own powers and everything, and you had to impress the man himself.
Yeah.
And yet it was actually real. I thought it was going to be stupid, but then I started watching. It was really cool.
I never understood like the problem I have with Marvel is the fact that they have too many superheroes. Like, it's not just the X-Men. It's like the whole thing. Like, first you've got the Avengers, then you've got Spider-Man, and you've got Ant-Man, which I don't know why Ant-Man's a superhero.
Yeah.
So you've got the X-Men. You've got Fantastic Four. You've got. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody easily. Oh.
The list.
You got Daredevil, you got the Punisher. I think that's the Spider-Man universe. I think so, because Kingpin is in both.
Who? Ghost Rider. I think that's Marvel too.
That is, yeah, Marvel Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
So, the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's what I was missing.
And I'm sorry, Nicolas Cage was the perfect actor for those movies.
This Cage is great.
Yeah, he was the perfect actor for those movies.
A lot of people don't like Nicolas Cage, but I like Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I've seen very few movies. I mean, I saw him in a couple B movies, like when he first started out, that were really bad. But his major hits, I mean, I still remember like in the first Ghost Rider where he's in, where the first time he turns and ends up in the cemetery, and he's like, well, it feels like my skull's on fire, but.
That was such a bad line.
And then you see him drink just down the whole pot of coffee right at one shot.
You ever seen Face Off?
Yes, I have different seasons. Although it's gotten to.
No, I mean the movie.
Oh no! Yeah, I know what you were talking about. Yeah.
That movie's great.
Sorry about that. It's whenever you say Face Off, I thought you were talking about the sci-fi.
No, I'm talking like the John Travolta Nicolas Cage movie where they actually switch identity.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my favorite Nicolas Cage.
Now, believe it or not, one of my favorite Travolta movies was Swordfish.
Really?
Just because it was a complete. And I know this is supposed to be PG-13, but I'm sorry. Walking the streets, I hear kids in grade school saying this word. Sorry, that was a complete mindfuck, especially at the end. If you ever get a chance about, especially if you like. Now, granted, it's stated with with the computer technology and everything else, but right at the end, it was all about what appears to be happening versus what actually is. So in the end, you don't know if John Travolta's dead or not, even in the end.
Yeah.
So it's really, you know, it is a mind fuck and a half.
It's kind of like Inception.
I haven't seen that yet.
That's a great movie. What you just described is essentially Inception.
Okay. Now I think the movie that actually I kind of classified as a horror almost when I walked out after I saw it the first time, and above anything else, what I thought was one of the greatest mindfucks in the movie was the original one, The Matrix.
Yeah.
Because if you watch that movie and you look at it from the concept of reality is perceived through our 5 physical senses, which are easily deceived, and you walk outdoors, it's like, hold it, is this the reality?
Yeah, or is this our reality, or are we just living as some sort of other construct?
Yeah.
And yeah, that movie actually is really influential.
Now I think they should have stopped with the first one,
The
but
second one was bad.
and the third one, just
Well, the second one wasn't terrible. When I saw it the first time, I thought like, I mean, the fight scenes were awesome,
oh yeah,
but like I think they should have stayed in the Matrix more.
yeah. And the third one was just like,
They were barely in the Matrix at all in the third one.
yeah, and yeah, the third one it's like, okay, he dies at the end. Both of them,
Spoilers.
yeah.
Never seen the Matrix.
Trust us. Stick with the. Watch 1, 2 is optional. 3, just find out what happens or skim through it because 3 is just like,
Everyone dies except Morpheus.
yeah. And then of course they leave it open for a new trilogy with.
Just kill him. Just
Yeah, but am I right though? Right at the end, with one of the characters, they left it open to continue it.
did we?
Yeah, with that girl,
Oh, yeah. No, it's like, oh, the thing we were talking about,
the sunrise.
which is like, oh, I think we'll see him again. I'm like, when?
Yeah,
When will you see him again?
yeah. It's like, please don't threaten us like that. That's like, and I'll go on record as saying this, and I don't care. It's like when I saw Motley Crue this year at the Allentown Fairgrounds. Motley Crue, the final tour. You know what my first thought was? Really? Do you promise? I'm sorry, I like one song by Motley Crue.
I like, Got the Devil and Dr. Feelgood, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I like Dr. Feelgood, especially the original video for it.
I could never really get into Vince Neil's voice. It's the same thing with Jane's Addiction for some reason for me. I can't, I mean, do you like Jane's Addiction?
Nah, I'm more of a Pearl Jam type person,
I love Pearl Jam, yeah. I'm not,
especially Jeremy.
yeah, I'm not into Jane's Addiction at all. Like, wasn't there like a show down at like, around, was it here? Did they play Music Fest?
I think that,
Were they like, no,
no, it wasn't me.
didn't they?
I don't know.
And
I know last year lineup pretty much sucked.
what was the lineup for last year?
They had like Boston, Styx, not Boston, like Styx, Foreigner.
It's like a Penn's Peak lineup.
Yeah, one of the biggest names they had was Avenged Sevenfold last year.
Wow.
Outside the country, but
Avenged Sevenfold, like, I grew out of them when I was like 15. I mean, not to jump on Avenged Sevenfold, but it's just not my type of thing. I'm not,
yeah.
I don't like wear all black and stuff that Avenged Sevenfold wears. I don't know, sound like an idiot right now, but I'm just not into Avenged Sevenfold.
I know this year lineup, I think, is better though. This year, I mean, okay, granted, you have Steely Dan and the Moody Blues, which appeals to the older crowd. They have country. I think they have a better lineup this year. Sheryl Crow. So, it's this year. There's a couple of shows that might make my list. But last year was just like, I'm like, okay, I know photographers that are like, oh, I'm going to photo, I got this show, I got that show, and I'm like, thrilled. Didn't even try for any,
Shows that I'm. You've been on Facebook, right? You've seen
Yeah.
the shows. Yeah, the shows that I'm attending this summer.
I saw Rachel's lineup, summer concert lineup.
The summer concert lineup that I'm going to is pretty much the same, except that I'm going to see Aerosmith and Slash. At the
Okay.
So it's Queen with Adam Lambert, Queens of the Stone Age, Veruca Salt, Soundgarden and Nine Inch Nails, and Aerosmith and Slash.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, I'm really excited. I don't really. I saw on YouTube the other day. I wanted to get a feel for what I was going to see with Adam Lambert. I really just kind of don't like Adam Lambert.
Okay.
And, like, he's okay, but probably okay on his own. But singing Queen songs, you're not gonna be for anything.
No. No, I don't see how you could. I mean,
It's not beating him. It's just the fact that, like, not being superior to Freddie Mercury as much as